What is up guys, Anton here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the vanilla OPPO Reno8. Now, since this is the camera-oriented lineup from OPPO, I'll just be focusing on the base model of the Reno8, since the more affordable Z model is giving you a Snapdragon 695 for around 15,000 pesos, which I think you are getting much more value with the vanilla Reno8. But before we move on with the video, please make sure to leave a like and to follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram for more unboxed PH content like this. The vanilla Reno8 is a much easier pick over its more affordable counterpart, so let's go ahead and take a look at the OPPO Reno8. Now here's a quick look at the box, and of course inside we are getting our typical paperwork, SIM ejector tool, jelly case, and of course a charger and cable included. Now build-wise, I really like the feel of the Reno8 in the hand, no doubt thanks to their awesome back panel here with the shimmer black colorway that sparkles from black to almost a dark indigo color. It does have a plastic build all around, but the sparkly and unique finish on this back panel is great for a firm and confident grip. Now, this plastic build also means we're getting quite a light device here at 179 grams, so even though we are getting flat panels all around, you don't really need to worry about dropping this device because it's pretty grippy. Now, the buttons are on either side of the device, and I like the random green accent on the power button, giving you some extra texture in this all black device. The camera bump reminds me of their flagship Find series with this curved look that I personally really like. The Reno8 series has really unique implementations of the camera bump, making them really stand out a little bit more in this saturated price category. Now onto the speakers and screen of this device, where I really think OPPO could have given us just a little bit more. Now the screen itself is quite good for content with a 6.4-inch AMOLED panel with a full HD plus resolution at 90Hz max refresh rate. Though at this price range, I expected a little bit more from this screen, either slimmer bezels for a cleaner panel or a higher refresh rate of 120Hz to compete with other phones in this price range. Now the weakest link with this device I think has to be their speaker setup with a mono speaker. And since we don't even have a 3.5mm jack, you'll have to rely on your TWS or wireless headphones for better audio for overall content consumption. Now the Reno8 is quite far from being a great media consumption device, but its strengths really lies with its camera performance. Equipped with a 50-megapixel main sensor, OPPO's camera optimizations really bring out the potential of the IMX766 sensor that other companies just don't seem to get quite right. Detail is nice and sharp on the main camera, and colors are quite accurate to real life, making this a really solid and capable camera. The 8-megapixel ultra-wide and 2-megapixel macro cameras really don't compare much to the main sensor, but it is nice to have that kind of versatility. Now, as for video, the chipset on this phone is able to produce 4K 30 video with ample electronic image stabilization. The 32-megapixel selfie camera, on the other hand, definitely could use some work in the dynamic range department, especially in low-light situations. The selfie cam can have a pretty hard time focusing on subjects without blowing out the highlights, but the detail on this selfie camera is pretty good with great lighting. Just be mindful when taking selfies with this camera because of that dynamic range issue, so quick selfies may not work out the way you want it to, but just take a little bit of extra time, make sure to focus, and you're all good. But overall, we're getting a pretty well-rounded camera setup here with a very capable main sensor that really lets the IMX766 on the OPPO Reno8 shine brighter than its competitors because of OPPO's pretty awesome and robust image processing. All that brainpower is, of course, thanks to the MediaTek Dimensity 1300 on this phone that is powerful enough for 4K video recording and more than enough to run most games on the Play Store. The actual release of the Reno8 will have Android 12 with ColorOS 12.1 out of the box, and navigating the UI is fast and smooth thanks to the processor we're getting here. The 8GB of RAM on this device also allows for pretty smooth multitasking for heavier workloads, and you won't be running out of space much with 256 gigs of internal storage. Now, as for these specs, I really do miss microSD-XC support for expandable storage. This is a camera-oriented device, and if you will be taking lots of high-res photos and 4K videos, then for some, 256 gigs might not be enough. But for everyday casual users, This is more than enough storage for saving offline content on Spotify, Netflix, and YouTube, and a handful of your favorite games. Now, last but not least, keeping the lights on is a 4500 milliamp hour battery that charges at a super quick 80-watt charger with the included charger in the box. You can get up to 50% of battery in just about 11 minutes of charging. Now, we couldn't really get into the exact performance numbers of this device as it is a test unit, but it is a decent phone all around. Although at this price range, it can be quite difficult to recommend for these following reasons. First is the screen. Don't get me wrong, the Reno 8 has a pretty great looking display, but where it does fall short is that chin. It's quite noticeable and much thicker compared to other phones at this price, and it doesn't help that its refresh rate is capped at only 90 Hz. And second has to be the speakers. You can't have mono speakers at a 28,000 peso price point. It's just hard to compete without a stereo speaker setup. These two factors make this phone fall behind when it comes to media consumption, which is arguably one of the most important functions of a modern smartphone. But other than that, the OPPO Reno 8 features a great design with solid build quality, a lightweight device with the best implementation of the Sony IMX766 sensor that I have seen. The 80 watts of charging speeds is also one of the best features, so you never really have to worry about battery life. So that is about it for the OPPO Reno 8. I know I kind of tore into this one, but let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Now, of course, don't forget to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, my name is Anton, and I'll see you guys next time.